U of A basketball continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, a full wrap-up of today's Wildcats contest. Top takeaways, reaction from the players and head coach Tommy Lloyd, plus your thoughts on what you saw. The postgame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. This is your home for Arizona basketball. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Drives left under the baseline, reverse lane short, and a Walker there for the Arizona rebound. Outlet on a runner down to Bradley. He'll lay it up and good.
What a pass from Caleb Love. Again, fast break points. Important.
Important for sure. That's what we said that we needed to see from your Arizona Wildcats today. Get out in transition, get easy buckets, but in the end, Houston's inside game just came alive in the second half and really from the get-go of that second half. I think their first shot was a three, and then they just started pounding it inside, and the Wildcats did not have a whole lot of answers for what they were getting on the inside. And when I walked out of the building, well, it had gone from a 7-point advantage to a 3-point advantage when I leave. I leave right at the 8-minute timeout. So I did not see exactly how things transpired down the stretch. But needless to say, a big run for Houston to take the lead. And they win it today by a score of 62-58. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Was it one of those scoring droughts for Arizona? It looks like another 4-minute drought in today's game from when they took that 7-point lead on the KJ Lewis layup with 9:10 to go down to their next point, let alone their next field goal. Their next point was at the 5-minute mark. Their next basket was at the 2:53 mark. So 6 minutes again. 6 minutes again that the Wildcats went without a field goal. And against teams like Houston, you're just not going to win. And the thing about at the defensive end was that I didn't think like Houston, I know they came in as one of the better 3-point shooting teams, which they didn't do much of that today, so that was a positive. But, like, their inside guys, they don't have, like, great-looking shots. It's almost like they get the ball, and they just kind of throw it up there at the rim, but they throw it up at the right velocity that it just kind of hits off the back of the cylinder and then just kind of rolls in. I saw a lot of those shots. It wasn't like the pretty jump hooks like we saw from JT Toppin down at Lubbock. These were just, like, ugly throw-ups to the basket that go in. But I'm sure that's how they practice it. And they sure knew how to make that happen. And then, of course, the Wildcats, who are one of the best free throw shooting teams, and we talked about that, missed 4 free throws down the stretch. They had 13 of 17, and all 4 of those came in the final 5 minutes. That is not going to win you any basketball games. So Arizona now 2 games behind the Houston Cougars, headed to a difficult road trip now. Baylor before they come home for the Utah schools. But we thought we needed to win this one tonight. You definitely got to win on Monday. You don't want a 3-game losing streak at this point of the season, but that's what's staring Arizona in the face at the moment. All right, we'll take your calls tonight. I'm joined, as always, by my guys. We've got the captain, Kelvin Ifan. You cannot see him currently. I set that camera before you came in, and it just wants to continue to do its own thing. There he is. Kelvin Ifan. We got J.W. Madden over there as well. And, fellas, your thoughts on a 62-58 Arizona loss to Houston?
Well, I thought it was a tough game, man. I mean, the guys played physical on both ends of the court defensively. Both teams came in with a defensive mindset, tough to get good shots off. The referees let the guys play through things. It's just down that stretch right there. Houston has been in a lot of those games and figured out ways to win, and I just think that experience have really helped them out. Their style of play, how they slow it down and make sure they get the exact shot that they want. I think those things really, helped them out today. And, as I said in my keys to the victory, I said we had to make some shots. I thought we would get enough at the basket. I need to see how many points in the paint we had, but I thought we had enough.
Not a lot.
Well, how many had we had?
I believe it was 26. They outpainted us
26.
36 to 26.
Yeah, and again,
and what do we average? About 30. We averaged close to 40, I think, points in the paint, like in the high 30s.
Right. Yeah. No, so that's definitely not enough. So that's where you need to hit a couple of those shots. They play tenacious defense, man. They double so hard, and looking for deflections. I mean, to me, that was the toughest defense we saw all year, easily. We played some other tough defenses, but this was the toughest right here. The style of play just fits, everything that Coach Sampson is trying to do.
Yeah, I don't think there's any doubt, and Houston fans agree, that Arizona was the better, more physical team for 35 minutes of this game. Go read any of the many various chats going on right now, and they're all saying the exact same thing. What Kelvin said at the very end there is the key. Shot making for Arizona. DK, I want to correct you slightly. It was not their bigs in the second half that were doing damage in the paint. It was their guards making consistent 9-foot floaters right at the front of the rim from 10 feet away, just inside the free throw line. They must have made 6 or 7 of those in a row.
Killers.
Now, those are tough shots, and that's what they could get from the defense. Those are all paint points from penetration, mid-range penetration and floaters over the top of shot blockers. They made 6 or 7 of those in a row, guys. On the other side of the ball, Arizona, when they got in that stretch that you're talking about them not scoring, once again regressed to more of a one-on-one, I can make shots against my defender type of offense. The offense they ran, they had quite a lot of success in drawing those doubles because, as we all know, Houston is very double happy. They double pretty much everything. When you draw that extra defender, somebody's open. They found cutters. There were dunks at the rim, open shots within the flow of the offense. My question is, were they tired down the stretch? There was a very intense physical game. Guards in the backcourt didn't come out the entire second half. I would love it if there was an 8th guy on this bench that the coaching staff trust for maybe 10 minutes at each guard spot, just to give 35, right? 34, 35 minutes. So they're just fresh down that stretch.
Well, I was just going to say this real quick, J-Dub, and I want you to continue. Give Daryl also a few more minutes. At this point, he is your problem. I mean, he is one of your guys, and whether or not he came up from a mid-major or not, he's your guy now. So you got to give him a few more minutes in these situations right here. Yes, he hurts you sometimes on defensively, but he got a couple deflections. He got a couple, rebounds in there. So, let him play through it a little bit.
At the end of the day, I think both teams played outrageously good physical defense. Glad to see that the refs let them play again. My biggest takeaway is that Houston, who came in with the reputation of grind it out, we're going to out-physical you, we're going to out-tough you on the defensive end, they won this game by their shot making. They won this game because they made tough shots in that second half stretch. Arizona, on the other hand, I mean, Caleb put up a lefty floater from 10 feet out at the shot clock. Did you see that one? The lefty? And that was about as nice shot making as you could possibly get. But when it really counted in the last 7-8 minutes of this game, Houston were shot makers in big moments, not to mention the threes. They had a couple of guys that got left behind, left open for threes. Those really hurt Arizona. But at the end of the day, the reason Arizona lost, outside of some costly turnovers, knocking down free throws, is Arizona didn't make shots, tough shots down the stretch, and Houston did.
And you're right. It was the guards mid to late in the second half, but it was Joseph Tugler, and that was kind of what I was talking about at the top of the second half when they began to establish that they were going to go inside in the second half. I think he had like 6 of his 8 points in the first 3 minutes of the second half.
And that's what set up the big, because what happens is, if the guard gets over the screen and the big helps and he finds the big's man and he get a dunk or easy layup, they stop helping. And that's what opened up a few of those drives, because a couple of those floaters, J-Dub, weren't even really challenged.
No.
Right? And that's because the guys were more worried about their guy either getting a rebound putback or getting a lob threat was there.
You've been talking a lot about KJ getting looks from Midi, right? And why is that? Because defensive play him to pass. He's a very unselfish player. So when he gets in the paint, a lot of times he's looking for cutters. Well, on the other side of that ball, their point guard, Milos, is a guy who's best assist turnover ratio in the league, is averaging 5 assists a game. He's a guy, once he gets in there, is looking for guys to kick out. They got a lot of good shooters. In this game, in that stretch, in that, from the 10-minute mark until the end of the game, there must have been, I'm telling you, 7 or 8 floaters right at the front of the rim from about 9-10 feet out. And I think 3 or 4 of them were from him. And that was, guess what? That was great game planning on their behalf. That's where they could get shots. Arizona's defense today, guys, was outrageously good. Arizona's defense today was so damn good. Made me really proud to watch those guys running around out there. And Houston made shots down the stretch. They win the game. Tip your cap. I mean, that's a great Houston Cougars team. They did not play their best game today. Arizona didn't finish. We've talked about this a lot, DK. Last 10 minutes has kind of been a bugaboo in the losses they've had. But all credit due to the Houston Cougars. They are that team.
I asked this right here. Did they say we had 2 or 3 timeouts down the stretch?
I think they had one when they didn't call a timeout with a couple minutes to go, but I don't know about 4 or 5 to go. When that run, the real run, here it is right here. They had a 7-point lead with 9-10 to go, and they scored 5 points in the next 6 minutes of gameplay.
All right, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We've got a lot to get to in the post-game show tonight. We'll recap our keys to the game. We'll choose our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game. We'll check in on our best bets and see if anybody's cashing tickets tonight. And we will look ahead to what is happening around the rest of the country. The number 1 and number 2 teams are currently playing, and that's a tight game nearing the end of the first half between number 1 Auburn and number 2 Alabama. The Iron Bowl, first time ever on the basketball side that the 2 teams have been the 2 best in the country. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Much more straight ahead. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot post-game coverage of Arizona basketball is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. The post-game show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Tucson, Desert Diamond Casinos, Dorado Rock, First Chiropractic, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Polston Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, the Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management, wealth well managed, life well lived.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Now that winter is really here, cooler overnight temperatures mean that your tire pressure warning light could be on. In most cases, you solve the problem by simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. As always, you can stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low-pressure warning light, we fix those too. Check out jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Looking to upgrade your home? The Window Depot is your go-to spot for Milgard windows and patio doors. Select from a variety of styles, including aluminum, vinyl, or fiberglass, to start your journey to a brighter, more beautiful home. The Window Depot has Milgard windows in stock, ready to go home today, or their team can help you with a special order. Whether you're looking for energy efficiency, aesthetic appeal, or custom solutions, they've got you covered. Build the home you deserve with Milgard windows and doors from the Window Depot. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th anniversary season featuring 7 Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Accidents cause hassles as big as the Grand Canyon.
So we're hitting the road to spread the word about the bird.
The Eagle at Goldberg and Osborne.
Freeway fiasco in Flagstaff.
Hurt in Havasu.
Totaled in Tucson.
No worries. The Eagle has offices across the state. From Kingman
to Sierra Vista, where they fight hard to get you more.
So relax and ride on.
Because the bird is the word.
Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Right Way is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 9,000 five-star Google reviews, you can trust Right Way to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Right Way today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
At University Termite and Pest Control, we handle all your pest problems. Maybe a few family ones, too.
Wait, you can even take care of my in-laws?
I always tell people we'll take care of anything, even in-laws. You just have to dig the hole.
Okay, but seriously, is it okay for our pets?
Absolutely. It's okay for pets, kids, anything you want to live, will live.
Call us today at University Termite and Pest Control. We'll squash those pests and enjoy it.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
To Pryor center circle. Pryor driving. Pryor works it down to the left wing. 6 on the shot clock. Fires a 3. It's good, and Houston takes the lead.
LJ Cryer, 15 points in the game, hit 3 threes, 3 of 8 from behind the arc. They finished 5 of 17 shooting threes, 29%. The Wildcats for 5 of 23, again, 22%. It's just not good enough. And I said before the game, I thought that they needed to make threes in this game. It was going to be one of these games where they're going to have to knock them down, and they just didn't do it. Once again, and they just are a team that hasn't really done it all. As like Brian said at the end of the game, they're not a team that all of a sudden is going to start making a whole lot of three-pointers. So.
Kelvin, did you hear Rhino's stat in the postgame?
No, what did he say?
He said if the season ended today, this is the worst three-point shooting team in the history of Arizona basketball, percentage-wise.
So they got to get hot at some point. They got to get hot at some point.
I'm saying we're almost 30 games into the season, right?
Yeah. What is it? 20? What are we at? 20 whatever games?
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah,
enough to know that it's not a strength.
No, and again, that's one of the reasons that Tommy Lloyd was pleading with Anthony Del Orso to shoot more from 3. He took 2 today. He made 1, but again, Caleb took 8. Again, he was not hot. Anthony probably needs to be closer to 5 or 6. I mean, he's the only other guy. I mean, Carter Bryant took 6 and made 2. That's not bad, but again, he's a freshman. Anthony Del Orso needs to be a little bit more of that, take a few more than he's taking.
You know how last year as a freshman, when Mo Krivas would get into the game, he would be in the game for a minute and a half and already have 6 touches because every time he got in the game, his teammates were like, well, Mo's, his conditioning might not be great. We obviously got Balos. Mo's only going to be in there for a minute. Let's get the ball to Mo Krivas as much as humanly possible. Remember that? Like his touches per minute last year are outrageous. maybe they should look at Anthony Delorso the same way, because it seems like a trend that he's getting pulled after, again, he had a bad live ball turnover that turned directly into Houston points there at the beginning of that second half. Same exact thing that happened against Kansas State. Got pulled out of the game, only ended up playing 15 minutes. So maybe in the time that Delorso is on the court, they should make a concerted effort as a team to try to find him open shots, knowing, Kelvin, that there's a chance if he has a bad turnover in the second half, he might get pulled and might not get back in there.
And you make that effort by running plays that open up shots for him to get there. And that's my only little gripes about as Coach said, you can run a play and it don't work, right? And I understand that. But I just feel like for some reason, shooters running plays, running off screens and rhythm just seem to knock down shots. I mean, and that's all Houston was doing as well. The guys were coming off different screens, looking for the shot. If they didn't have it, then they got into the lane and looking for that floater. But I just would love to see Love, and even Carter Bryant set up on some plays to where it was open for, within the play, it was looking for the actual three.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Call us, text us, let us know your thoughts on this 62-58 loss to the number 6 Houston Cougars. We'll chat with our guy, Paul in Phoenix. You're on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday, the post-game show.
Yeah, Paul in Phoenix, who's not in Phoenix. I'm on a road trip back from Florida in Dallas, Texas right now, but I listened to the game in the back of the car, all the way on the app. I was listening to Brian and Ryan. It was great. But guys, I'm gonna nitpick. Okay, I'm gonna nitpick, and I know, David, you have JW sitting next to you. Okay, and Kelvin sitting there as well, possibly. But JW, you're going to help me out with this, and if I don't need the answer today, but I need it sometime in the next 3 or 4 days. But that stretch in the second half when we went for how many minutes without a field goal?
6
minutes. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a way to track? And I know you can do it. You probably already have it. When we would shoot the shot in that particular possession, and I know there were free throws also involved. Okay, but when we did shoot shots in those possessions, how much of the clock did we use up? Have we used up? At what point in the shot clock were we taking those shots? This team has got to do a better job. It's not court awareness. I'm going to call it. It's called game awareness. Okay, This team has to figure out that when they're in a situation like that, if they're only 1 minute into not making a field goal, okay, everybody's we're playing normal. When we get to 2 minutes, we start thinking and kind of looking at each other. When we get to 3 minutes, we're still looking at each other, but realizing we're okay. When we get to 4, 5, and almost 6 minutes, we have to look at the guys on our team who can get us a basket, not a three-pointer, okay, a basket, something that everybody, all the other 4 guys on the court, see going through the hoop, because that's what's going to help them. This team needs to look to Jaden Bradley to do that, and even KJ Lewis. And I'm talking KJ Lewis. We don't need your three-point shooting. Now, I know Houston obviously defends us against that because they know that if Jaden gets to the bucket and maybe gets an and one, all of a sudden it electrifies the crowd, okay? But we need to do a better job of game awareness. I don't understand why this team, the guys on the court, they should be talking to each other. Hey, guys, everybody knock it off. Stop shooting early shot clock three-pointers. Let's get somebody down inside. Let's get a bucket to stop the bleeding. That's all we have to do. Stop the bleeding and get something that is, because they, like J-Dub, like you said, they played so well. Defensively, this team played so well, and to do that to themselves, and I know Houston's a very good defensive team, but to do that to themselves, they were right there. And all I want them to do from this game is learn from it. And somebody needs to play it back for them. Play those 6 minutes. Make them watch it over and over and over again. This is what we don't do in a 6 minute stretch. We keep doing it. I don't know what the Kansas State one was. I guarantee it was a good 3 to 4 minute.
Yeah,
4 minutes,
4 minutes at the end of the first half.
And we can look back at our other losses. There were stretches. We have to figure out that there are guys on our team who want the ball. who would be willing to go in there and get hit banged around a little bit. Okay, maybe you didn't get fouled on that drive, but you know what? Do it again. Maybe the next time you will get it. But shooting 3-pointers or shooting okay. Anyway,
now
guys,
I will say this. Let me stop you. Let's just look at it.
Please.
Let's look at it because they only took 5 shots during that 6-minute stretch. Bradley had a jumper, KJ had a jumper, a 3 by Love, a jumper by KJ, and a 3 by Bryant. So they had 4 shots inside the arc and 2 shots outside the arc in that stretch.
Okay.
Now we'll have to go back and look and see, what the quality of the shots were. It just seems like, man, that's 6 minutes and you only took 5 shots. That doesn't seem like a lot to me. Like in 6 minutes, you think you take more than 5 shots.
You'd think.
So
I'd be
interested to see how many turnovers they had in that stretch as well. How many lost possessions they had.
Yeah, but again, David, it's a learning thing, and Tommy Lloyd is going to tell these guys the exact same. He of course he could care less about what any of us the fans say, but he's got to be looking at it. Guys, if we go through stretches like that, and yes, we got to the free throw line, but you can't. Winning teams cannot go through stretches like that. You can't go 6 minutes without it.
Absolutely not.
It's Big 12 play or Big 12 tournament or March Madness. You cannot do that. You will lose games. End of subject. So that was fun to listen to, I must admit. And I'm going to say this. I love Reggie Gary, okay? But I love and I know some people say, well, Ryan Hansen's he's a little bit biased towards UVA. He's not. He is so knowledgeable. He is I just love listening to him because he, as much as like that last one where he said, that's a goaltending. And then he goes, no. You can't review goaltending if it wasn't called. So he backed off and told him, nope, there you go. It is what it is. But guys, you know what? Like Tommy Lloyd came out and said right away, we're on to Baylor. What else can we do?
Yeah,
got to go to Baylor.
Absolutely.
So that's it. Guys, bear down. Thanks again.
Absolutely,
Thank
Paul. Thank you as always for your call. Looks like they only had 1 turnover. I love how they put these in here. Bad pass turnover is what they call it on the sheet here. Bad pass turnover by Caleb Love, but that was the only one.
A bad pass.
Yeah.
He was doubled on the sideline, and he jumped and threw it directly into the hand of the outstretched defender.
And it led to the run-out 3 for LJ Cryer that put him up 5.
Yeah, we got doubled a lot, and this is where sometimes you can't practice against that type of pressure.
Intense
that
doubles.
Was a swarming double that they had going on.
And they would get you at every corner.
Yeah.
You turn your back, the double was coming, and it's coming physical. It's coming chest to chest and hands high, swarming toward the ball. You just can't replicate that. I mean, even just looking at it, man, I can't believe they only had 14 turnovers.
I can't believe they only got called for 2 fouls in the first 12 minutes.
Yeah,
right?
They only had 11 turnovers. Only had 11 turnovers.
The thing is that like the old adage of
bad, exactly.
The old adage of you play in games how you practice is an old wise thing. Coach Olson was all about earn it in practice, and then the games are easy. Well, everybody universally says that Kelvin Sampson's practices and how they practice those traps, how they practice their physicality, is more intense than any other program in the country. Yeah. So again, how do you prepare for something that is unique, Kelvin? Yeah. Of course, everybody knows what a trap is. They've been running against traps since they were kids.
Right.
But it's a different level when athletes, strong, physical athletes are coming at you with that level of intensity, and they pick and choose so smart. I mean, because they're trapping as soon as the ball handler catches at the sideline, that's an extra defender. So most of those traps were coming hard, and any time you got even close to the baseline, the first trap, I think, was on the very first possession of the game, was right there in the corner, baseline and sideline out of bounds. Worst possible place you can get trapped outside of maybe half court. So, again, tip your cap to that style of defense. And I think, honestly, Arizona handled that pressure very well throughout most of the game. I just think some ill-advised shot selection down the stretch.
And a lot of it was because of the pressure of the defense. They wasn't allowing
settling
you to
because it was tough to get in there.
Yeah. So a lot of that comes from the pressure, and I think the shots that they took, they believed that they can make. They just missed them, right? But a lot of that is, you wonder why they didn't get closer to the basket, or it's because of the way that the defense was playing. And I also noticed that every time Caleb tried to go anywhere downhill, he had doubles so fast in his face. They were bringing 3 guys.
Yeah.
That's why he had a great job assisting the basketball today. I know he had at least 6. I know he had at least 6 assists. And so then I thought they started playing back more man-to-man, right, trying to force Caleb to see if he can beat them with the shot because, he kind of was struggling. But he only shot 8 threes today himself. I mean, that's a low number when you think of what Caleb usually does. But, still, I say defense was good enough today. It was just not enough offense.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's talk to Robert. You are on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, the post-game show.
Hi, guy. I thought today's game was a choke job by the U of A. So at the Uzan had, 3 or 4 buckets from about 5 feet, a little floater, like 4 or 5 possessions almost in a row. There's no defense there. And then I don't understand why in the hell we passed the ball. Huh?
You're breaking up there, Robert. You're on a roll,
I'm sorry.
but you're
Can you
breaking
hear
up.
me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we played no defense. I mean, they say, good defense. That's not good enough. Tommy Lloyd always comes out and says we played well. You know what? I'm sick of hearing these we played well but not well enough. That's what good. What does that mean? And what I hate are turnovers are almost all unforced turnovers. Caleb Love, he throws the ball into Waka to where?
Yeah, that was a bad pass right there for sure. I see he got up in the air, and which is a deadly sin. He got up in the air and he didn't have anywhere to go, and he kind of threw it up, hoping that Waka would go up and go get it. But there's a lot of hands around. That just wasn't a strong pass to throw there. But I think Caleb had how many assists?
He had 7 assists and 5 turnovers.
5 turnovers. Ooh,
Yep.
that's bad. He should have shot 4 more times.
He had 1 assist. If
7.
do the math,
7.
I mean, that's. Yeah, no, 7, yeah, but he had 5 turnovers. So what the hell good do those assists do if he's turning it over 5 times? That's what I hear about KJ Lewis all the time. Oh, what good he plays defense, but then he has 3 or 4 turnovers. I mean, that negates. He might stop 7 or 8 points in the game, but then on these turnovers, we're giving up.
He has 0
7, 8,
today.
10 points.
He has 0 turnovers today.
That's good. I'm glad, but I don't know. I don't think we get discombobulated on offense when we get a lead. It's like all of a sudden, I don't know. We just sit there on the perimeter, passing the ball back and forth to each other, not driving to the basket. And I know you guys said I think 6 out of their last 9 shots were 3-pointers that they bricked. They might have made 1, but why doesn't Tommy Lloyd? Why didn't he call that last time out to set up a shot when we were still within striking distance?
I think a lot of people are asking that question. Hopefully, we'll find out. Hopefully, we'll find out an answer to that when we hear from Tommy Lloyd coming up a little bit later.
Yeah, I wish he'd come out after the game and say we didn't play well enough. He always says we played well, but we took a lot. It's a Big 12. So when are you guys when is he going to toughen up and start winning some of these damn games instead of just beating? I think the only tough game we won out here is Iowa State. I don't think we beat anybody else. That's
Well, I mean, the bottom line is there's been 14 games and you've won 11 of them.
Yeah,
there's a lot of teams and there's 12 teams below you that have won less than that.
Well, that's true, but so what? I don't care about the other 12 teams, but this game we should have never lost. We had a 5-point lead, with 7 minutes left in the game, and I told my friend I was watching with, I said, watch, we're going to choke and we're going to blow the game, and sure enough, it's a pattern. We get 7, 8, 9-point lead, and then 2 minutes later, like the caller before said, it goes 3, 4, 5 minutes without a point, and there's no timeout called. We're just running the same garbage.
I think we lost Robert. Robert, we appreciate your call, though. Thank you, as always, for your thoughts. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. We'll get another break in here. We'll come back. We'll give you our Window Depot glass cleaner of the game, our best bets, keys to the game, as well as everything else happening around college basketball, college baseball. Not a good day for Arizona on the baseball field either against number 11 Clemson. The ladies are in action right now. Hopefully it'll be a better afternoon for them on the softball field. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day after a 62-58 loss to number 6 Houston with Kelvin Efon and JW Madden. I'm David Kelly. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
It's cold outside and you need safe, reliable heat for you and your family. For a limited time, Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is offering a free furnace with the purchase of a qualifying HVAC split system. For fast, reliable service, call Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or picturockscooling.com.
Picturock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Thana Autumn Nation.
JT Auto, where customers are family. Trust your vehicle to JT Auto professional and reliable automotive repair and maintenance services. JT Auto is conveniently located off Fort Lowell and Country Club. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guaranteed, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where customers are family. 623-7066. That's 623-7066.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Upgrade with new windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom-order windows to fit your style and budget. With our exclusive SI window brand, made right here in the USA, you'll get a full lifetime warranty, including glass replacement, for ultimate peace of mind. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you and start your project today. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
All right, she's inside. Are you good?
Yeah. It's just, she's my baby girl, you know?
I do, and ceramic coating was a good choice.
She's beautiful.
Yep, I know.
Recon Auto Detailing. Enhance or restore your baby to her former glory with paint recondition, ceramic coating, paint protection, tinting, and more for full protection of your vehicle inside and out. New cars, old cars, we love them all. Recon Auto Detailing, 3829 North Oracle Road, Tucson. ReconDetail.com.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain, Kelvin Evon, and J.W. Madden.
Here comes the double team. Now they peel off to Bradley. Left side, Bryant for three. Carter drains a three, and the Wildcats are back within one. Timeout, Houston. Ice cold veins for the freshman. I mean, what confidence to shoot in that sequence.
Carter Bryant had a couple of threes made in the ball game. 2 for 6 from 3, 3 of 8 overall from the field, 1 of 2 from the line. 9 points in 26 minutes. 9 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 blocked shots for Carter Bryant. Wildcats, though, fall to the Houston Cougars 62-58. They drop 2 games back now in the race for their first ever Big 12 championship. Let's find out how this game looked and finished on the big board at the Desert Diamond Casino.
Tucson, what happened with today's best bets? Did the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the best bets. Brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, Arizona was a 1.5-point underdog in this game today, so they kind of knew what they were doing there with that. We all took the Wildcats and the points. That's a losing bet today as the Cougars come out 4-point winners. Over-under was 138.5, and this game came in at 120. 120. Kelvin and I took the under. J-Dub took the over. So a rare double L for the red-hot J-Dub of late. Kelvin and I split our tickets, so 1 win, 1 loss today at the Desert Diamond Casino. Those are your best bets.
Today, we're today's best bets, brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Call us or text us at that number with your thoughts. Interact on any of our social media platforms. We are streaming the show currently on Facebook Live, YouTube, and Twitch. I may throw up the Instagram if I have a moment to do that, so you can watch it on a 4th platform if you'd like. Let's chat with Ricky. You're on Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday, the postgame show.
Yeah, hi. Can you okay?
Yeah, you're a little in and out, but go ahead.
Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday, the postgame show.
So, turn your radio down, please.
Yeah, I got it down as much as I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay, thank you. So I'm a little, I didn't catch the whole game, and I may apologize if I'm repeating something that someone said, but, earlier in the season, I wasn't quite sure that Tommy Lloyd would have the right philosophy for defense, but, I've come around and I've changed my mind. I apologize on that end. He's got the guys playing good defense. I'm not exactly sure what they're doing philosophy-wise, but they're playing hard, but when it comes to sports, and Kelvin, maybe you could relate to this. At the end of the day, if you don't have more points than the other guy, you either get beat or you lost. And if you get beat, then you have to give it up to the other team. But this team is losing games, and I think that for whatever reason, they're just not mentally tough as they need to be. You're human beings. You're going to make mistakes. No one's going to take a shot that they don't think is going to go in. But, 6 minutes without scoring when the game's on the line, nobody steps up, missing foul shots. You guys are talking about the trap. Scouting-wise, you got to know what they want you to do. And yet you still go there. That's mental to me. And I don't know. I just curious of what your aspect of that is, and I'll just listen. Thanks.
All right, appreciate that call, Ricky.
Well, yeah, man, it's tough, man. Like I say, man, I've been a part of scout teams going against, the first teams, and you try to give them the best look that you can give them. But sometimes those starters at those other schools.
Wait, back up a second. You weren't just a part of scout teams. You were Allen Iverson, right?
yeah.
Okay.
Some of the guys.
Okay.
I got a chance to throw it up there a few times at practice. But all I'm saying is that, I think just you have to – this is one of the times where you got to give credit to, the tough defenders, man. They're making it tough like that for you. You look at everybody that play Houston. It's not just Arizona. Everybody that play Houston have a tough day, man. And it's their style to play and it's their system. And I think our guys are learning to play that way. Defensively, I thought they played great. But all that energy exerted on that defensive end, at the end of the day, it wears on you a little bit. And to me, again, I'm just keep saying, I just think when you're in those droughts like that, a coach, you have to sense that early and try to call some stuff to where you're getting guys some shots in areas where you wanted to give them the shot set. I mean, that's the reason why we have plays. Now, with that being said, would we would have made any of them? I don't know. We would have missed every one of them, but at least I would have been comfortable that I had something to do with it because it's my job.
Right.
My job is to put our guys in position to be successful, and I'm going to call their best play that I know that they run at practice every day that they can be successful in. Now, again, they run this system, and they got their shots up, and a lot of these shots were very makeable, so I'm not saying that. But at the same time, I just feel like when we're not getting layups, I'm going to figure out a way to get some type of screen situation to where I got a guard screening a big to get my big a shot, or possibly get them in a switch with a guard, or I'm doing something where I'm setting double screens to get my guard the ball in some situation going downhill or UCLA cut or something.
Yeah, I mean, there's different levels of poise. There's poise for an individual, but there's also poise for a group of players who finish games out. And those are the guys that you rely upon to get good shots down the stretch in winning time. And to the caller Ricky's point, number one, I think Arizona handled the traps very well throughout the entire game. They had 11 total turnovers against that Houston team. We'll call maybe 3 of those bad passes. It's not like they were throwing the ball all over the court. 11 total turnovers against that pressure defense from the Cougars, trapping every single possession. I think they handled the pressure pretty well. As far as the scoring droughts are concerned, I mean, the big elephant in the room we've talked about quite a bit this season, but not tonight, is sometimes Caleb's shot selection off dribble, when you get into those crunch times, he puts that cape on. Because he is that guy. He can make big shots. He can go stretches. He can go a 2-minute stretch where he scores Arizona's 14 points straight for Arizona. We all know that he can do that. And with that level of confidence, Kelvin, the thing we talk about is who else is going to take the shots? Who else is going to step up in those big moments and take those shots? Sometimes I love it when Caleb takes those shots. And sometimes when he takes a shot with 15 seconds left on the shot clock, I think that could have been a pump fake, swing, maybe regather, find another open spot, and take another shot later in the shot clock. Caleb can get the ball back to himself. He rushes that a little bit because guess what? He wants to be the guy to make those shots. He's born for that, Kelvin. I mean, that's been his game his whole life. Down the stretch of games, the worst to me was UCLA because that was 13 minutes they went without a field goal. Okay.
Right.
That was a while back. They corrected that, this winning streak. They won 12 out of 13. There's been a couple of moments. Kansas State, there was a stretch. Against Houston tonight, there was a stretch. I don't mind stretches without field goals. I mind stretches without field goals if they don't get good looks at the basket and rush shots before the shot clock is winding down. That's the biggest thing, I think, for these scoring droughts. And my question for Coach Kelvin is, how much of that is on the point guard and the shooting guard who has secondary ball handling skills to gather the troops, get everybody on the same page, and make sure coaches are going to do coaches stuff. But those guys on the floor, Kelvin, those coaches on the floor, in my experience watching great Arizona teams over the years, whenever you'd have 1 or 2 minutes where they didn't get a good shot, it was guys bringing the team together and saying, okay, guys, we got to get our heads in the game. We got to get a better shot next time down the court, and they did. So as far as the closing group, those 5 guys you think are going to be out there in the last 7-8 minutes of the game, they're going to be the same 5 guys. And those 5 guys got to figure out where the best shots are going to come from, maybe pass up a good look to get a great look for somebody else.
Yeah. And one thing I'll add to that is that, that's the one thing that's tough about Jaden Bradley not really being very vocal, right? Because you got to be vocal to get people in their spots, to get to play what you want, to who you want. There's a confidence that you have to have. When I watch him, he's a guy that's more with action. Yeah, and I heard Saul kind of liked him for that. But I like my point guards chirpy. I like my point guards always talking, always tell. I want you to get on their nerves. That's why a lot of the coaches are former point guards because they're going to be chirping, they're going to be talking because there's always something that you need to communicate offensively or defensively, to your guys. So it's just one of those things, J-Dub. I think you're right that it does fall back on the guards, but I think when you're still talking about, because people don't forget this. It's Jaden Bradley's first year really starting at the point, okay? And Caleb Love is wired to score. I expect him to do exactly what he's doing in some of those situations. Just go for it and try to make a killer play and put the ball up. And sometimes that thing falls and sometimes it doesn't. But with that being said, as a coach, that's where I jump in at because I know my guys. I know that Caleb, I can see, I've messed up plays where guy have started going to his shot and getting ready to get it up, and I call timeout, and the ref give me the timeout, and he make the shot. He make the shot. But it was because I'm so used to him missing that shot, and I need to get him a shot that I know that we all be comfortable with him taking. And if he miss it, we all are good with it because we practice that shot every day at practice. It's like that dive play on the football team, or you got a good receiver like T-Mac and you throw the fade up to him. Everybody know we're going to do it. And if we throw an interception doing it, fine, because guess what? We're going to our best guy. And to me, it's the same as missing jump shots when you're running those type of plays. So it just sometimes you have to get that shot. Like Caleb taking that shot, it was just too early, right?
Yeah.
So I run a play to control that. That's why I run that play, because I'm going to make the ball move just enough to when he come off the screen, he's shooting it right at the time that we ran enough clock to get it done. Or I'm holding my point guard, right? I'm holding my point guard. Hold it. All right, now run it. Now we come off, he shoot it. Okay, we're fine with that, right? On that miss, because we're all balanced. We get back on defense. But I just think there's just a few opportunities there where, I want to, see Coach call a double horns, and double screens going away for this particular guy to get a shot. I want to see a cross screen for Townsend. I want to see that cross screen play that we used to run to, what was the big man we had? Tabellis? Mm-hmm. Remember that play we used to run to Tabellis? Yeah. I want to see that play for Townsend because I think Townsend, if you get him the ball on that block, I think if he can take one dribble or just turn and go up and score, I think he's valuable. But I think him trying to score from the perimeter limits him because now it just puts him basically where he's a catch and shoot, because he's not quick enough really to attack in this conference at this level because he's going to get the help is going to come so fast, right? So I would love to see him on a cross screen to the box or a UCLA cut to the box where he get a chance to just go up without having to create a couple, with a couple dribbles. I think he'll be more successful.
I do have a quick point to make about our earlier caller, Robert. And he said that Arizona had one quad one win this year. In case listeners aren't aware, the number one team in the country, Auburn, they have 13 quad one wins. Mm-hmm. Kentucky has 8. Tennessee has 8. Alabama has 8. That's number 1 and number 2 in the country, tied for number 2. Arizona has 7 quad one wins. So they're tied for the third most quad one wins in the country, currently ranked 10th in net ranking in the country. In case you didn't see it, the one preview of the NCAA bracket, the official NCAA bracket came out today.
Oh.
Arizona has a 3 seed in the East. Yeah. So, no, Robert, Arizona does not have one quad one win. They have the third most quad one wins of any team in the country out of 350 Division I schools. So they're doing okay.
There you go. And a 3 seed is not that bad. Not bad at all.
Well,
all right. We want to, Kelvin's got to get out here quickly. So let's review our keys to the game right now, and we'll knock that out here before we take a break and let him get out of here. Keys to the game, what we thought the Wildcats needed to do to win today.
Wildcats fans, how did today's keys to the game turn out for the U of A? Keys are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
We'll also hear from Caleb Love and Jaden Bradley with the players at the postgame press conference. We'll hear from them coming up in the next hour as well. 62-58, Houston beats Arizona. What did we think Arizona needed to do to win? I went first, I believe. All right, guys, for me, it's simple. You got to change the tempo of this game. You got to press the action. I think that's going to be critical today. Only 3 teams have gotten to double digits in fast break points against Houston. Arizona needs to be the 4th. You've also got to press the paint. Force the officials to call fouls. When Arizona wins a lot, it's because they get to the free throw line. I think you got to get to the free throw line 30 times. We know they'll make them, but you got to get there in this ball game. And I think this is a game you can't. You shoot for 2 for 22 from 3 today, you're gonna get blown out. You got to make 3-point shots today to beat this team. Not too many teams to make a lot of threes against them. Arizona has to be one of those teams that does today to get a win. They got out and ran, 18 fast break points for the Wildcats today. That was one of the things I was posting on our Twitter page, Wildcats 1290. Defend and run. They were able to get that done today. Only 17 free throws, though. That's just not nearly enough against a team like Houston. And we talked about it before. Just 5 of 23 threes, 22%. If you're going to take 23, you got to make at least 10. You make 10 threes, you win this game easily. Who was next?
DK getting good, J-Dub. DK getting good. Okay, so he stole all mine, but I guess I repeat him. Don't be out tough today. You can't be out hustled. That's their way of winning. They want to come in and be physical and try to grind you on defense, force you to move the ball until you turn it over. You have to be physically tough out there today. You have to win the rebounding battle. Houston is a team that loves the offensive rebounder, misses, kick them out for threes. That's when they're most efficient at their three-point shooting, is when they get offensive rebounds. You have to win the rebounding battle to this one. They double the post, so I think we're going to have to play off pick and rolls to get the ball to our bigs, because anything you throw into the blocks is an automatic double. So I think our guys are going to have to play off the pick and roll and try to attack the paint from the guards. And my last one right here is that you have to hit open threes on this team, mid-range jumpers, because they're going to clog the lane up. They're going to be very aggressive. Even when you get by them, guess what they're going to do, DK? Foul you. Mm-hmm. They're going to foul you, force you to go to the line to beat them. The games that they lost the free throw battle. Arizona has to be strong from the free throw line.
The pick and roll just wasn't there today. It was very tough to get that going.
Yeah, they was eating. They was gobbling up the pick and roll. You know, they do a great job of help side. Bringing guys over to the midline.
K-Rock, what's a hedge?
Huh?
What's a hedge?
A hedge is when basically the guy comes up, the guy that's guarding your big steps up and forces you to delay or go around him and giving the guard enough time to come back. So he's basically not even going to see the roll. But I felt like we should have attacked those bigs the first few times coming off of that. You change speeds and attack that guy, force him into foul situations while he's out there in no man's land.
People might remember Coach Miller's style was to hedge hard on the bigs on those high pick and rolls, and that's what Houston was doing today. So as far as any kind of action coming off of that, the ball handlers, they were trying to pivot and actually get to the ball the other side of the court is what they were really – that's the way they were attacking those strong hedges from the Houston Cougars team. But, yeah, you're right, DK. I mean, there wasn't a lot of rolling. And, again, that physicality, we're used to seeing Vesar at least on one or two of those rolls get the ball thrown up high. I don't even think they attempted. I know he got a dunk underneath when he was open, but I don't think he really even attempted any of those high passes.
He was working hard to try. I mean, I was watching. I'm like, man, Henry's out there working hard to try to make this happen, and it just wasn't. They couldn't get it going.
Credit where credit's due, because we've had some conversations this year about Henry maybe not matching Kelvin, the physicality, and that's why he got pulled from games. But, I mean, Henry Vesar matched the Houston Cougars' physicality tonight, without a doubt.
J-Dub's keys.
Yeah, mine are very similar to you guys as well. I think, number one, possessions are going to be at a premium, so you have to take care of the ball against this Cougars team. Less than 10 turnovers today for the Wildcats. Little loose last time out. Clean that stuff up, because that's a team that's going to try to take the ball away from you and take advantage of your mistakes. Number two, just like you guys both said, you got to meet the physicality of the Houston Cougars. So that means, out rebounding, boxing out, 50-50 balls, all those things. I would love to see Arizona maybe with a +5 or even higher rebounding differential. I think impose your will on the inside. And speaking of which, no matter double team in the post or how physical those guards are on drives, you have to live in the paint against this Houston Cougars team. You have to meet that aggression, force the issue, get 2 feet in the paint for guards, at least 40 points. It's going to be a much lower scoring game than we're used to seeing, but at least 40 points I'd like to see from the Cats. Do not settle for jump shots. Live in that paint. Those are my keys.
Yeah, well, the paint was the difference, I think. Only 26 in the paint, and Houston took advantage of the paint in the second half. From the
right
get-go.
On the edge of the paint. All those floaters were basically 1 foot in, but it counts as paint points, for all those guards. And I think Arizona kind of went away from it in the second half. But again, credit to the Houston Cougars. They're designed for that. They're designed those high. We're talking about high hedges and how hard the bigs are hedging on those pick and rolls. A lot of that has to do, DK, with just keeping those guards from getting downhill and getting into the paint. You knock those guys off their lines and whatever. I just would like to see Arizona maybe a little concerted, better effort in the second half to pass up a good shot to get a great shot. Cutters, Kelvin. Cutters found space when they did find when they could find a way through those, heavy doubles to find Cutters. It was successful, just not enough of it.
And Emmanuel Sharp did not score a single point.
Wildcats fans, that's a look at your keys to the game. They're brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive, the dealership that is different.
All right, Calvin, final thoughts from you on this one before we adjourn and go to Monday.
Yeah, man, it was a tough loss, but they got a lot of things that that they can hold their heads up about, because they battled the top team in the country that's going to be somewhere around that Final 8 and Final 4. So they got some little work to do to clean it up, but they got to put it behind them, because Baylor, the Battle of the Burr Downs is coming up on Monday.
All right, we'll see you Monday night.
Yes, sir. Burr Down, guys.
Kelvin Ifan, the captain. We'll get a break in here, come back. We'll hear from the players, Jaden Bradley, Caleb Love. Arizona, number 13, falls to 6th-ranked Houston, 62-58 at McHale Center. It is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, the post-game show, and you're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot post-game coverage of Arizona basketball is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The post-game show is brought to you by Dave & Buster's Tucson, Desert Diamond Casinos, Dorado Rock, First Chiropractic, Goodfellas AC, Humane Society of Southern Arizona, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating and Plumbing, Restaurant Supply Store, Royal GMC Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, the Post and Results Team with Keller Williams, Southern Arizona, the Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Go Wildcats! As a new season starts, the Tucson Police Department bears down with the Tucson community. We are looking to build our team, and we need you. Interested in joining our starting lineup? Visit jointucsonpd.org. Join our team and score a great career. From our commissioned officers to our professional staff, Tucson Police Department proudly stands behind the Arizona Wildcats. Bear down and apply today at jointucsonpd.org.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
I love my weekend rides across Arizona. I travel with all the protection I need. Helmet, gloves, leathers, and the Eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle fights hard to help injured riders across the state. Whether we're cruising through Carefree, slow riding in Sedona, or breezing through Bisbee, they find you doctors, manage medical bills, and get you back on your bike with the most money possible. Injured riding? The bird is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Are you having sewer and drain issues? Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is the name to know when your drains don't flow. We do the dirty jobs so you can focus on yours. Leave the drain pain to the experts. Call Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing at 520-492-0748 or picturoxcooling.com.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Now that winter is really here, cooler overnight temperatures mean that your tire pressure warning light could be on. In most cases, you solve the problem by simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. As always, you can stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low-pressure warning light, we fix those too. Check out jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is the ultimate team when it comes to your home's comfort.
Thinking about replacing your heating and air system? It's February at Right Way.
These are some of the slowest months of the year. We have equipment in stock and our crews are available.
And we're including an 80% furnace absolutely free with the purchase of an air conditioning system.
And if that's not enough, we're offering 60 months no interest financing, tax credits up to $2,600, energy efficiency rebates, and 10-year parts and labor warranty.
Call or text 520-200-2422 today or visit rightwayac.com.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain, Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Love with the ball for the Wildcats. Hard drive across the lane. In the lane, lay it up and good.
Driving downhill. Caleb Love's jumper has left him for the time being. He's got to get to the rim.
And he did that. 1 of 8 from 3 was Caleb Love. 6 of 15 overall, which means he went 5 of 7 in the game from 2 and was being aggressive to the rim. And if he could just knock down a few shots from behind the arc.
When Rhino says his jump shot has left him, what he's referring to is 2 for the last 21 in the last 3 games. 1 for 8, 0 for 7, 1 for 6. Yeah. So he was 4 for 9 versus BYU in a win. 1 for 6 in a win versus Texas Tech. 0 for 7 in that loss for Kansas State. And 1 for 8 today in the loss to Houston. So 2 out of 20, his last 21.
That's tough.
Yeah, it's tough.
It's going to be tough to win games when your best player is not shooting that.
Again, he's always been a streaky shooter. I mean, going back to his freshman year at North Carolina, he's the kind of guy who can go 4 for 5 and a kind of guy who can go 1 for 8. And that's just the Caleb Love experience, right? It just so happens that this particular 3-game stretch, his shots are not falling right now.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Let's see. We've got Doug in Tucson checks in, and Doug says that he says we clowned him on the show the other night when he said that Del Orso should have gotten more playing time. I don't know if we necessarily clowned him. I just think that it was Kelvin, I believe, had said that it wasn't, you couldn't necessarily play him over KJ in that instance in that particular game. But Kelvin did say earlier that maybe we need to give Delly more shots. And Doug says, well, that's what I was saying. I understand he could be a defensive liability and you don't want to take KJ off the court, but somebody needs to put the ball in the basket for this team. And Delly might be the guy to be able to do that.
Okay, yeah, no, for sure. And let's go look it up. He is 1 for his last...
Yeah, he made 1 today. So he
7, 9,
13.
10. 1 for his last 13, as well. So, again, I think Delly's the best pure shooter on this team. He's also cold stretch. He just made his first 3 in the last 6 games today. Now, he's not taking a high volume. 4 is the most he took, and that was versus ASU. The other games, he's taken 1 3 or 2 threes in a game. Sometimes it takes a little bit of shooting to shoot yourself into a rhythm, DK. I couldn't agree with more with everybody involved. I think you got to find more shots for Anthony Del Orso within the spread offense. He's the best catch and shoot player on this year's team. And when you don't have KJ Lewis in the game, this is a much different defensive team. With KJ Lewis in there, this is one of the top 5 defensive teams in the country, period. I mean, they are outrageously good defensively, and a lot of that has to do with Jaden Bradley and KJ Lewis at the point of attack. Del Orso isn't quite at that level defensively, so that's why KJ gets those minutes. There's a balance there, right? KJ with his hand, I mean, he's reaching for his hand every single time he makes a play. KJ had a stretch where he was really kind of getting in rhythm with his outside shot and his mid-range shot. He hasn't shot the ball great lately either. It's not one guy who's not shooting well, DK. It's not two guys or three guys. The whole team has not shot well. Once again, if the season ended today, it would be the worst three-point shooting percentage in Arizona basketball history.
Right. All right, let's head back over to McHale Center and hear from Caleb Love and KJ Lewis after a 62-58 Arizona loss to number 6 Houston.
Was it as physical as we saw? How tough was it?
Yeah, it was definitely physical. We knew that coming into the game. And, we had our, mind on, it was going to be physical, bodies going to be dropping. But, I feel like we, gave it our best shot. And, we just kept coming. They kept coming. And, ultimately, that we came up short.
Tommy seemed to think you were supposed to be going to the line in that one situation, and then it ended up being Henry. Do you know what happened on that?
Yeah, I don't know. I thought I was going to the line too, but they went in back to review, and they say Henry was shooting, which is all good. I mean, I got faith in Henry to make free throws, so it really wasn't a big deal to me, but I thought it was me too.
This was pretty much a 50-50 game until the last few minutes. What do you think the difference was down the stretch?
I think, obviously the missed free throws that we had, I think kind of hurt a little bit down the stretch, and then feel like we couldn't score a little bit for maybe a few minutes straight. We didn't get a bucket, and then we couldn't get a stop. So, I mean, credit to them. They were running, timely sets for, timely or for the players that were, scoring. And then we had to be better on offense, or we could get an easy, find an easy bucket.
For you guys, is it better or worse that you have a game in 2 days on the road in a hostile environment? Would you rather have some time off or play right away?
I think it's better, get our mind off it because we got to have next play mentality. We got a good team where we, playing against, and obviously we beat them here, and so it's definitely going to be a tough one going on the road. Any game in the Big 12 is tough, so I'm glad we, short turnaround, and we'll be ready on Monday.
In that same vein, this is the first time that Arizona's lost back-to-back games since the Bahamas. What's the message to the rest of the locker room, just to stay together and play well at Baylor?
Just what Caleb said, next play or next game mentality. We remember the feeling when we were 4-5 in the Bahamas. Having that chip on our shoulder when everybody kind of doubted us, and we're just gonna go into that same, or to Waco with that same mentality. We got to have a quick turnaround, a quick mindset, because we said we got a good one on Monday, and it's away. So.
Is that it? This season, we've really seen a lot of improvement on the defensive end. Is there something different that you've been working on, different techniques, things like that? Last week, I think we talked with Tommy, and he said that he's been challenging you to kind of step it up on the defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, just giving more effort, giving what the team needs, and that's exactly what the team needs is my defense. And then just feeding off these guys and their energy, KJ, JB, CB, all those guys giving that extra effort, and me just pitching in and taking it personal for whoever I match up with. They not getting their average, or they're shooting inefficient and things like that. So and then helping the helper. So I think just giving that extra effort, and having that want-to mentality.
Ellie, I'll Sports 360 is Caleb and then KJ, playing alongside one another. How has it been kind of getting you to know each other's games and understand what each other wants to do?
It's been great. Obviously, we had a year and about a year and a half under our belt now, and so just knowing where KJ is on the court when I drive, I know he's cutting. If I drive towards him, I know he's gonna be open or away. Just finding him in transition for him to get easy dunks, easy layups, and then also him just finding me in transition, finding me on, throw-ahead threes or in the corner on certain sets. And so we definitely got, a lot of chemistry. Obviously, we, connected on and off the court, so that helps. And, it's been great playing alongside him.
I mean, he said it best. I mean, we've been playing with each other for a year and a half now. The chemistry is going to continue to grow. And he just makes the game easier for everybody on the court. Definitely a magnet for defenses. So it helps everybody on the court, get what we need. And then he's also a spark on both sides of the ball. And, you love playing with a guy like him.
All right, that is your Arizona Wildcats after a 62-58 loss to the Houston Cougars. We'll also hear from the head coach, Tommy Lloyd, coming up a little bit later. It is on to Baylor, and it's a quick turnaround Monday night. Very Pac-12-esque as the Wildcats will have to come back on one day's rest. And unfortunately, that'll be a travel day because of the way that the schedule is set up, a home game on a Saturday and a road game on a Monday. Welcome to this new world that we had. Let's check in on, we've got a lot of folks chiming in on the live chat on YouTube right now. Rich Carrillo, he said before the game, Cougars by 6, and says that this was the first time in a long time that we saw an opponent cancel Jaden Bradley's aggressiveness on offense. Houston took his right hand away and forced him to go to his left, and he's not very good at going to his left.
Yeah, he was probably outside the paint more than we've seen in recent memory, right? I mean, as far as the memory you have of Jaden Bradley doing damage for this team, his ability to get by the first line of defense and then draw a secondary defender is what's led to a lot of easy buckets for Arizona. All the guards, but Jaden Bradley in particular, all season long since game 1, has not settled for outside shots. And a scout for a good offensive player or the head of the snake, right, is going to always be to take away the strength, and a very astute observation by Rich because they were shading him to the right. So, guys have to prove that they can be strong with their offhand, not necessarily finishing a layup with your left hand if you're going. Obviously, you do if you get all the way to the basket. But just a couple of strong dribbles to that offside and then a pull-up jumper will suffice. But, yeah, clearly they didn't want Jaden Bradley to get in there and do the damage he has been for most of the season.
K-Dub checks in, as he always does, after a loss. He's kind of like Robert. Tommy strikes again. Can't coach end-of-the-game situations. Can't coach half-court offense. Tommy is a great recruiter, but horrible game coach, especially in the end-of-game and half-court. But talent doesn't matter when you don't know what to do with it in game situations.
Here's the thing. If you have a negative outlook on life and you only comment after losses, you're always right.
That is true.
So people who have this completely negative outlook, you don't hear them ever comment when Tommy Lloyd pulls all the right strings and makes all the right coaching decisions, which leads to a big win. So you have to have it both ways. I mean, there's a lot of people out there who have very strong opinions one way or another about what they think is the right way to do college basketball, DK. And at the end of the day, the taste in the mouths of many fans out there who fit that description of we are a top 10 team, we're going to go in this new league, we're going to cause all kinds of damage, getting off to a 4-5 start has never left their brains, right? And if they listen to our pre or post game show, they would understand that sometimes player chemistry takes time, and none of those losses were bad losses, none of them. So, this is a very good Houston Cougars team, and everybody's entitled to their opinions. I'm not here to tell anybody to think any particular way. I'm just here to say that if you have strong takes about Coach Lloyd being inept in certain moments, but you only comment after losses,
right?
Take that for what it is, right? I mean, I would love to hear some of those same people call in and give their honest opinion on the other side of that coin when the Arizona Wildcats get a great win like they have in recent months and do all the right things, make all the right plays, and have a great, game plan going in, because that also happens.
Time now for our Window Depot Glass Cleaner of the Game. This is a tough one today. You had Javier Francis on the Houston side. He led all the rebounders today with 7. Arizona, 6 for KJ Lewis, 6 for Carter Bryant. Were your leaders. Nobody had a whole lot at the offensive end. This was interesting. We talked about offensive rebounds, and we've talked about that in a lot of these games, but this was not necessarily – the Wildcats did have 11 offensive rebounds in this game, although
that's not the story.
5 of them were team offensive rebounds, which means the ball went out of bounds, and they retained possession.
The story is how many second chance points they had from all those offensive rebounds.
2.
Did you see? Yeah,
2.
Just the 2.
There was only 6 total in the
and that
entire
was like
game.
at the very end of the game.
Yeah, right at the end of the game.
Right.
Carter
so
Bryant.
Think about how hard that is to do. 11 offensive rebounds and nothing came out of that. Because, again, you got to credit the defense from Houston. But if I have to vote, it's going to be the entire front line for Arizona. I think people don't know. Houston out-rebounds teams by an average of 6 per on the season. Arizona out-rebounds teams by an average of 8 rebounds per game. 12th in the country currently is the rebound margin for Arizona. They out-rebounded a very, very good Houston team by, 9?
9, +9.
So, yeah. It's not – and nobody stands out because it was team rebounding. Everybody put a body on a body. Wherever the ball's going to, everybody keep an eye on the ball in the flight and all those techniques that you teach as far as rebounding is concerned. And so, yeah, there was no singular player who stood out to me rebounding for Arizona, but it's got to be the Arizona team just in general. All those guys, KJ, Carter, everybody.
And how about the fact 7 of the 8 guys that played for Arizona had 3 or more rebounds in this game?
Yep.
Anthony Delarso was the only player who played, period, for Arizona who did not get a single rebound. Everyone else got at least 3.
That was clearly a point of emphasis. Clearly, the coaching staff wanted to make sure that Arizona came out on top in the rebounding battle this time. Just a little bit unfortunate that they didn't take advantage of those second chance opportunities.
Okay, so we'll do a Glenn Howell, and we'll give it to everybody. Jaden Bradley, Caleb Love, Trey Townsend, Toby Awaka, KJ Lewis, Carter Bryant, Henry Vasar are all your Window Depot glass cleaners of the game. Window Depot, lowest prices, biggest inventory.
I can
shop the Window Depot.
I can hear Anthony Delarso's frowning face through my headphones right now. He was the only one not mentioned.
Gotta grab a board.
That's true.
Grab a board, Anthony. I can't. The stats are the stats. So maybe next time. All right, we'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll have a whole lot more for you as well, and you'll hear from the head coach. We'll get you a scoreboard and take some more of your calls and text and messages on any of our social media platforms. Again, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and also Twitter at Wildcats1290. Text and calls to 520-848-1290. Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. Wildcats fall. We'll also maybe hear a little bit from the Houston locker room as well. Get you what they said about their win today in Tucson. 62-58 Cougars over the Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot post-game coverage of Arizona basketball rolls on. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The post-game show is brought to you by Broadway in Tucson, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, Drain Medics, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, Lexus of Tucson, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rockin' K, a master plan community designed by nature, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Police Department, University Termite and Pest Control, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Visit Lennar's 2 communities in Rockin' K, with home savings up to $25,000 and limited time interest rate and closing cost incentives on select move-in ready homes. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
If you're feeling overwhelmed by the thought of a home remodel, don't stress. The Window Depot is here to help. At the Window Depot, we're your one-stop warehouse for everything you need for your next remodel. Windows? Check. Doors? Got it. Cabinets, countertops, and everything in between? You'll find it all here at the lowest prices. Whether it's a kitchen, bathroom, or whole home makeover, our experienced designers are ready to bring your dream home to life, all at unbeatable prices. Find a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
Honey, our yard looks like a jungle. It's full of weeds, and the neighbors are complaining, you know.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using just doesn't work. Not to mention, I don't have the time.
You know, it's not just the weeds. I'm also seeing ants and the spider, scorpion. I saw a scorpion, and I think there's a pack rat living in the garage.
I get it.
It's scary.
I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today and get rid of them all.
You're the best, honey.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Stars are shining down on Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle has more than 2,200 five-star Google reviews from across Arizona, like these.
They go that extra mile to let you know they care. A wonderful experience.
They treat their clients like family, and their professionalism is the best in the business.
They made sure I got a great offer. Like a bulldog, they fought for me.
Well said, everyone. After any accident, remember, deferred is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Driving the lane, dunking on the competition, and playing as a team. These are things we'll see this season watching our Wildcats play basketball. These happen to be the things you'll also find when you buy your next vehicle from O'Reilly Chevrolet. The only difference is at O'Reilly, nobody gets penalized for traveling. Heck, we actually encourage it. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or find new roads at O'Reilly.com, where you can experience our version of a steal. O'Reilly Chevrolet, more than a great price.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Cats ball the other way. Caleb, hard drive, no look. Reverse lay in to KJ Lewis.
Caleb Love, 6 assists now to a streaking KJ Lewis.
13 points for KJ, 4 of 12 from the field, missed all 3 of his threes, went 5 of 6 from the line, had 6 rebounds, 2 assists, did not turn it over, and had 2 steals. So much better ball control game for KJ Lewis. Wildcats, though, fall to Houston 62-58. Our guy Fred Scheib checks in from New Jersey, says his daughter was asking him why a college basketball crowd was chanting USA, USA, USA. I think she mistook that for U of A.
When I was a
U
kid,
U of A.
You know, I think my first game at McHale, I was 2 or 3 years old. And when I was a kid,
You
going
thought-
there as like a 5, 6, 7-year-old, I used to chant USA because I didn't know. How could you know what
U of A.
I mean, it didn't.
Right.
Just like the concept of that makes sense. So I don't know how young Fred's daughter is, but I remember personally thinking that as well when I was a kid.
Fred's thoughts. I know Houston's a good team, but looked like a lot like the Cats finding a way to lose at the end. 12-0 run, no field goals, 5 to 7 minutes. It was 6. Missed 4 or 5 foul shots. Couldn't stop unopposed layups. Can't make our layups and bunnies. Poor defense, foolish fouls, stupid mistakes. Just a collapse. And 22% made threes is not going to cut it. When was the last time Lloyd recruited an excellent three-point shooter to U of A? Never.
Kylan Boswell.
No. Really?
I think it's really an understated point how many minutes Caleb Love and Jaden Bradley are playing.
Yeah.
And I know that
there's no question.
Kelvin wants to see Jaden out there for 39 minutes, and I do too. However, what we're talking about, guys, is not, moments within the halfway through the first half of, physically letting down, right? What you're talking about is runs consistently this year and the losses for Arizona within the last 8 to 10 minutes of the ball game, in which there's some, quote, uncharacteristic turnovers or sloppy play. And the question then begs the question of, if I'm not here to question when Jaden Bradley says he feels fresh throughout the entire game, but all I'm saying is the question should be asked of when those periods of time decay take place. Primarily, they take place after 30, 32 minutes. And anybody who watched this game, this was not a regular game. This was an Elite 8 game to get to the Final Four. This was a Final Four game to get to the national championship game. The intensity out there on this basketball court rivaled a second weekend NCAA tournament game. So that's a little bit more exertion mentally, physically, and all those things. So again, I think that if you get a chance to spell those guys even 2-3 minutes here just to kind of catch their wits, maybe there's some stronger decision-making down the stretch. That has to be a factor.
Let's hear a little bit from what Houston had to say after their win here in Tucson today over the Wildcats.
Kelvin, for this team to find a way when a lot of things weren't going right in this environment, what does that say about this group?
Yeah, I mean our kids just kind of hung in there. We were doing the things that we thought we had to do to win. But Sharp is a 45% three-point shooter. He had a lot of really clean looks. He couldn't make one. Keeping them keeping them from scoring on the offensive glass, keeping them out of transition, and not turning the ball over. We've always prided on ourselves on taking care of the ball. At backcourt of Bradley and Love and Lewis, they're very handsy in a good way because they use their athleticism. They get a lot of steals, but we worked really hard this week in playing with the ball out in front of us when we got by them because they like to come from behind and punch it out. But sometimes you're not always sure what's going to work when you go into the game. You have a handful of things that watching film, you said, okay, I think we can get this, we get that. And then once the game starts, the game usually will tell you what will work, what will happen. And, we were loaded up. We call it C-spacing on one side of the floor. And we played 2-on-2, and they were in drop coverage, and Milos kept getting downhill with his floater. And I thought his swagger got better as the game went on. LJ's, he's in his second year in his program, and he knows exactly how we play. Arizona's a good team. We're a good team. We just happen to come out ahead today.
All right, that's the head coach of the Houston Cougars, Kelvin Sampson. We'll have more of that a little bit later over at Wildcats Radio 1290.com. His full comments along with his players after they knock off Arizona here at McHale Center this afternoon, 62 to 58. We'll get another break in. We'll come back and hear from the head coach of the Arizona Wildcats, Tommy Lloyd, as well as get you a scoreboard. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Hey, man. Yeah, it's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
If you have old windows, they are probably driving up your energy bills. Upgrade with new windows from the Window Depot. The Window Depot provides unbeatable value and a wide variety of in-stock and custom order windows to fit your style and budget. With our exclusive SI window brand made right here in the USA, you'll get a full lifetime warranty, including glass replacement, for ultimate peace of mind. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you and start your project today. Experience the best prices, the biggest inventory, only at the Window Depot.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Now that winter is really here, cooler overnight temperatures mean that your tire pressure warning light could be on. In most cases, you solve the problem by simply adding the correct amount of air to your tires. As always, you can stop by any of our 14-area Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care locations for a free tire inspection and air pressure check. And if you need help with that low pressure warning light, we fix those too. Check out jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, here to get you there.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats basketball radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Accidents cause hassles as big as the Grand Canyon.
So we're hitting the road to spread the word about the bird.
The Eagle at Goldberg and Osborne.
Freeway fiasco in Flagstaff.
Hurt in Havasu.
Totaled in Tucson.
No worries. The Eagle has offices across the state. From Kingman
to Sierra Vista, where they fight hard to get you more.
So relax and ride on.
Because the bird is the word.
Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THEEAGLE.com.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain, Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
It's way more physical, like referees almost let you fight.
Moteus Krivas. Mo Krivas talking on the pregame show prior to the Kansas State game earlier this week. 62-58, number 6 Houston knocks off 13th ranked Arizona here in Tucson. Let's hear from the head coach, Tommy Lloyd, after the loss at McHale.
I think they, had a little more certainty where they were going to get their shots from and kind of hung with it a little bit better. I didn't love some of our possessions at the end of the game. They're obviously a great defensive team, and you just have to have a little more wherewithal on offense. And then, I think, a critical stretch in that game, we get a lead. Down the stretch, you want to manage that a little bit better. And I thought we got Cryer 2 3-pointers in a row. And, kind of later in possessions, it might have been a late ball screen. It might have ended up with a cross-match situation just, because crazy things happen sometimes late in those possessions. And you can't give their best shooter a wide-open 3-point shot, especially, at any time, but especially when you have a lead.
Do you feel like defensively, it was such a defensive game in the first half that just, maybe let up a little bit in the second half, you guys?
We made a few mistakes, and they made a few shots, and, they probably, probably went through all their Rolodex of things they were going to do and maybe found a few ways to attack us. But we played well enough defensively to win the game. We rebounded well enough to win the game. You got to play better offense, and that's easier said than done against Houston, but we're capable of playing better offense than we did today.
It's solid at the free throw line most of the year. 10 for 10.
Tough. There's crazy stuff. They're telling us KJ shooting free throws, and at the last second they're switching Henry to do it. Weird stuff. There was a review. We asked to get reviewed at the end of the game with 30 seconds to go. They didn't even look at us, and you guys watch these games. Everything gets reviewed at the end of the game. I don't know. There's some tough stuff like that. The officials weren't the problem, but there were some weird situations down the stretch of the game that just make you scratch your head a little bit.
Last couple games, there's been some struggles with live ball turnovers. What do you think is causing that?
You're playing against some dudes, good players. They're active. They have good hands. And, Houston's the best team in the country at turning teams over and creating a turnover margin. So, I think you got to give your opponent a lot of credit on that stuff. And listen, we could play with better habits and better fundamentals. I think Caleb had a bunch of passes tipped today. He's got to be better than that. He's got to be better than that situation. I don't care what he shoots. He should never get a pass tipped. And he's got to be better than that in those situations.
It was kind of a difficult game for him today. What did they do to limit him?
I don't know if they did anything in particular. I just felt like Henry kind of gave us some options out there and was looking pretty good. And we had a lead. That one group was good, and so we kind of rolled with it a little bit. I don't think it was, maybe Tobey didn't get enough opportunities today, but he was fine out there, and I thought Henry had some stretches where he looked okay as well.
Kelvin had said that Houston, or one of the players said that Houston usually passes up a good shot for a better shot, but later in the game they went more into taking that good shot first. Did you notice that?
Listen, I think both teams were playing great defense, and you're right. That's a great mentality. Against Houston, we probably turned down too many shots. Because the first good shot's probably might be the best shot you're going to get, and you wait to get deeper in the clock, and you end up, basically. The clock's ticking, and you have the ball, and you just have to hoist one up there. So, yeah, I guess that's a good adjustment against them. And they got downhill and hit a couple tough floaters, and that's a credit to them and their players making good plays.
Kelvin talked a lot about playing the game at their pace. Is that something that it's hard to control on your end?
Yeah, listen, you don't get to go up against Houston, especially if it gets a set defense, and you don't get to pick and choose your shot you want right away. So what happens is they're so good defensively, the possessions are longer. That's what shortens the game. And then they might walk the ball up the floor here and there. We got in transition plenty in the second half, and we got a lead getting in transition. So, sometimes it's the ebb and the flow of the game. And, obviously we want to get in transition when we can because we think that's against Houston. It's a lot easier to score 3-on-2 than 5-on-5. I don't think it's like anything earth-shattering, So, yeah, that's how they always play. That's how we always play. It was a collision of styles. It was a even game, for the most part. Till the end, they kind of got that 5-point lead, and we tried to rally back. And, I'm still disappointed. We have a 7-point lead, and I thought Henry made a great play on the ball, knocked the ball loose. We pick it up in transition, and they called a foul. You know what I mean? Like those games change in those plays. I thought KJ had a ball inside right in front of our bench. He got fouled. And like literally right in front of us. And, those are tough. Those are tough plays against Houston. Like when you have your margin for error is so small, those things add up.
The
Three-pointers haven't been falling for a good portion of the season. How do you approach that as a coach? You say, look, keep shooting, they'll go in, or
shoot good shots. Shoot good shots. You got to shoot good shots. You know, I mean, that's it. We got to shoot good shots, and you know, you got to live with the make or miss. And obviously, guys, it's no secret. I'm not telling anything crazy. We're not the best three-point shooting team you've ever seen. This is not the 2017 Golden State Warriors. We're a gritty team, and it's a little bit ugly sometimes, but that's just how we ended up being built, and we're okay with it. We've won a lot of games doing that. So, I thought we had some good looks at three. It would have been nice if a few extra ones would have went down. Obviously the last couple of games would have made a huge difference, but they're not. But we're still in the game, giving ourselves a chance to win. And at the end of the day, in the Big 12, that matters. I'm not a guy that's going to sit here and say, we've got to make 10 threes to win the game. No. We just got to score more points than the other team. And we had an opportunity to do that today, and we didn't. And Houston gets credit, and hopefully we can learn from it.
Although it wasn't the result that you guys wanted, Carter down the stretch made a couple big buckets to keep you in the game, just his development throughout the season.
Carter's obviously gotten a lot better. Carter's doing a great job. He's right where he should be for a talented freshman. And I told him, you're getting put past the point of freshman, with the experience you have now. So let's step up in these games and make fewer mistakes and see if you can just have a little bit more solid contributions. But he's definitely trending in the right direction.
And late in the game, your team, Coach, kind of struggled converting free throws, crucial moments. How do you plan to address that moving forward, especially that you guys lost by 4?
What do you want me to do? Want me to punish the guys? Should I run them? The guys want to make them. We're a good free throw shooting team. They didn't. And what I was disappointed in is they have a foul. And KJ, what's KJ shooting? 85? He's 85% free throw shooter. Going to the line for a one-on-one. They say 5 is shooting. 5 is shooting. 5 is shooting. He got undercut on the play. Another ref goes and reviews it, and they put Henry up there. That's kind of tough to swallow. Like when you're sitting in my seat, and then the one ref comes to you and says, yeah, we had 5 shooting. I don't know why I guess he went and reviewed it, and they changed it to 13. Those are tough plays when you're sitting in my seat to have to swallow.
They usually run teams down at the end. Do you think that happened to you?
For sure. We're playing guys a lot of minutes. We could have got worn down a little bit, and they could have been worn down a little bit. You know what I mean? Those are hard-fought games. Those are battles. It's a battle. It's a war. Whatever analogy you want to use, it is. And we're at where we're at. And we're putting players out there that we think give us the best chance to be successful, to win the game in that moment. And, maybe they're a little bit tired, but I know this. If you want something bad enough, there's always something left in the tank. I know that.
Season, when you played Houston, they were physically and defensively a little bit more just dominant than the program at the time. Now, where you guys are at, do you feel better in terms of closing that gap and possibly?
Listen, hey. Obviously, Houston's a great litmus test to see where we're at. And guys, I don't sit here every day saying all I think about is we got to be better than Houston. No, we want to play that way too, our own version of it. And I think we did in long stretches today. Okay, we just gotta figure out a way to play a little bit better offensively against a great defensive team. And I know I'm not the only head coach that's sitting here saying that. So they get a ton of credit. How long's Kelvin been there now? Okay. You know what? You know how long it took him to establish that? It takes a while. The stuff just doesn't happen overnight. You're building a culture. In this day and age, you know how hard it is to build a culture, to build a style of play when there's so many changes going on? So we're right. Arizona basketball is right where it should be. We're knocking on the door. We're not there yet, but we're going to be. We're going to be. We just got to keep plowing ahead. We got to keep plowing ahead. And that's going to be my focus, is just keep plowing ahead. And you know what? Next year, I want to be better than this year. But this year, I think this team's got a lot left in the tank. And I can't wait to see how they show up tomorrow for practice. And I can't wait to see how we go play at Baylor. Because you know what? You guys all think we're going to go get our ass kicked at Baylor. You guys do. You guys think we're going to get our ass kicked at Baylor because we're tired. We've been on a long stretch. We're going to play on the road game. Our heads are going to be down. Let's see what team shows up. We might get our ass kicked Monday. And then we got to keep moving. But we might not. I want to see what we have. I want to see what our guys are made of. I want to see how they respond. Our season's not going to be determined today by what happened, but how we respond might have a lot to do with where we go. And so, win or lose today, we got to move forward.
On that short turnaround, is this going to feel like maybe the old Pac-12 2 and 3 with the travel?
Yeah, for sure. You think we can practice tomorrow? I mean, my guy over here we should be running lines for missing free throws. I got to worry about having a team that has energy Monday night. So we got to figure out how to come, get ourselves organized, figure out our game plan, get on the plane, and go compete on the road in a crazy environment Monday night.
You figure you'll practice here and then go, or how are you going to?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Practice, or you
Bruce, I'll text you the script in the morning, and you can see if it's regular or not. I mean, like.
You're saying about wearing them out, you have to be cautious with practice.
Yeah, I mean, Bruce, we're going to come and we're going to put in a game plan. You know, it's crazy this time of year. You don't have to like run up and down to practice. You can actually go on the floor. You can watch film, and you can learn that way. You can walk through stuff. You can do that. So, we have a lot of bullets, that we've shot. So we have a lot of reps, and hopefully we can go figure out how to put in a game plan without wearing our guys out.
On the subject of what's left in the tank and so forth, do you think Jaden is feeling cumulative effect of playing a ton of minutes?
Maybe. I mean, he hadn't said anything to me. Jaden's a competitor, and, we're at where we're at, and we need Jaden to be great. I know this. Maybe you call him dog days, maybe call him that. I know JB's going to be right, when this team needs him to be right. And I don't think he's far off right now. Maybe he didn't play good the last couple games. I don't know. But I'm sweating it. He's my guy, and I'm rolling with him.
Last question. Got a minute left or so. They're up by 1. JB fouled Arsenault on that. What's your take on that situation? Do you want your guys to play normal defense? Do you have to be a little more careful?
What situation was that?
58 seconds left. They were up by 1, and Arsenault was driving, and JB fouled right on the line.
Close call. Close play. 50-50. Jaden almost had the jump ball.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, were we at 5 or 16 fouls? Did he shoot free throws? Yeah, I mean, Bruce, I don't exactly remember the play, so I don't want to obviously with the bonus, we don't want to foul, but I think you see in those games, at the end of the game, you can't be afraid to play defense, because I think they're going to err on the side of maybe not calling the foul. So, we're going to be physical, and we're going to stick our nose in there.
All right, that's the head coach, Tommy Lloyd. Fiery after that loss to the Houston Cougars today, 62 to 58. Any quick thoughts on that, J-Dub? I don't know that I thought that they're going to go up to Baylor or down to Baylor and get their asses kicked, but clearly he thinks a lot of people do.
Well, I think it's the circle the wagons moment, right? I mean, here's what I hear, DK. I hear a coach who's sick of being told that he's never lost 2 games in a row, right? That was coming into the season. How many questions in November did he get? Coach, did you know that this is the first time you've ever lost 2 games in a row ever? Hey, Coach, did you know this is the first losses you've had in November? Most of the questions being thrown at Coach Lloyd. It's been a challenging year record-wise for him. And so what I hear with him saying that he thinks everybody thinks they're going to go out to Waco and have a hard time is I think he's just talking about the doubters surrounding the program. And as I've said many times, DK, the loudest voices are not upset with the 2024-25 season. They're not upset with Coach Lloyd's 4-year tenure here at Arizona. They're upset that Arizona hasn't been to a Final Four in 24 years.
Right.
And Coach Lloyd and these players have nothing to do with that. So the frustration from the vocal minority of the fan base is about a long drought of having a chance to win a national championship. And that's where most of that frustration comes from. I like the bit about making the players run lines. That was my favorite part.
Or our guy Fred Shive, he doesn't want them to run lines, but he does want them to get underneath the basket and practice being hit with the pad and trying to score from down low. He says that they should spend an entire practice doing that for sure. All right. 520-848-1290. We'll take our final break, come back, give you your scoreboard, and wrap it up. 62-58, Houston beats Arizona. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
You think we can practice tomorrow? I mean, my guy over here we should be running lines for missing free throws.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or RoyalKia.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Looking for unlimited gameplay all season long? Dave & Buster's is introducing the all-new Winter Season Pass. You can pick your perfect pass and play like a Dave & Buster's VIP with unlimited access to over 140 games and deals on sips and bites. Sign up now and take advantage of this incredible deal now through February 28th. Don't forget to stop in Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch specials and grab the all-new Winter Season Pass. There's nowhere better to eat, drink, play, and watch than Dave & Buster's, the best place outside the stadium to see the games this football season.
At University Termite and Pest Control, we handle all your pest problems. Maybe a few family ones, too.
Wait, you can even take care of my in-laws?
I always tell people we'll take care of anything, even in-laws. You just have to dig the hole.
Okay, but seriously, is it okay for our pets?
Absolutely. It's okay for pets, kids, anything you want to live, will live.
Call us today at University Termite and Pest Control. We'll squash those pests and enjoy it.
I love my weekend rides across Arizona. I travel with all the protection I need. Helmet, gloves, leathers, and the Eagle. Goldberg and Osborne. The Eagle fights hard to help injured riders across the state. Whether we're cruising through Carefree, slow riding in Sedona, or breezing through Bisbee, they find you doctors, manage medical bills, and get you back on your bike with the most money possible. Injured riding? The bird is the word. Visit Goldberg and Osborne at 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
The cold Arizona nights are here. Is your furnace ready? For just $59, Right Way is offering a complete system tune-up, ensuring your furnace runs efficiently to keep your home comfortable all season long. Routine maintenance is key to avoiding costly breakdowns. And with over 9,000 5-star Google reviews, you can trust Right Way to get the job done right. Plus, we'll include a free carbon monoxide test for your peace of mind. Call Right Way today at 520-640-2665 or visit us at rightwayac.com for your $59 complete system tune-up.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice first.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Don't hold back. Just dive right in. This is Desert Diamond. The round-the-clock, off-the-charts, over-the-top spectacle that puts a shine on any day, anytime. The tables are hot to the touch. The slots are spinning winners every day. And the point spreads are yours for the taking. So go ahead. Live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino. Visit ddcaz.com.
An enterprise of the Tohono O'odham Nation.
A Window Depot coverage of the Wildcats rolls on. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday postgame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now, back to your hosts, David Kelly, the captain, Kelvin Yvonne, and J.W. Madden.
Lost the handle, picked off. Now the Cats with numbers. They head to Love, driving, throw it to Facer, slam it home. Arizona cracking down on the driver.
Let's take a look at what happened around the rest of the country. The college basketball scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers.
Colorado is in the win column. The Buffaloes knock off Central Florida in Boulder today, 76-63, their first Big 12 victory. Baylor up next for U of A in overtime. They beat West Virginia 74-71. North Chad O'Meara 17 points, 10 rebounds. It was number 12 Texas Tech blowing out Oklahoma State in Stillwater 93-55. JT Toppin stating his case for Player of the Year. Coming off 41 against ASU, he had 32 today, 32 and 12 for the Red Raider big man. Also, it was number 10 Iowa State over Cincinnati 81-70. 2 games coming up tonight. Actually, 3 games tonight. TCU at Arizona State, Kansas State at BYU. Utah will host number 17 Kansas. That's what it looked like in the Big 12. Top 25 college scoreboard. It has just gone final. The battle between 1 and 2 goes to number 1 on the road. Auburn wins in Tuscaloosa, knocking out Alabama 94-85. Janai Braum, 19 points, 14 rebounds, 6 assists for the potential player of the year. Duke beats Stanford 106-70. The Cardinal, though, are 8-7 in the ACC this season. Number 5, Tennessee over Vanderbilt, 81-76. Big Ten, 16th ranked Wisconsin goes on the road and beats Purdue, 94-84. Wisconsin is 10-4. Purdue drops to 11-4. Number 8, Texas A&M, 69-61 over Arkansas today. It was number 21, Missouri, beating Georgia on the road, 87-74. And Clemson gets another win. The 23rd ranked team in the country beats Florida State, 72-46. Arizona baseball loses to Clemson at the Shriners Children's College Showdown in Texas. They fall 16-5 today. Not a great day for the Batcats there. And it is, Arizona softball was playing today against Ohio. Pull that box score up here really quick and tell you what happened there. That game should be over or close to over. Arizona leading in the bottom of the 7th. Or bottom of the 5th, I should say, by a score of 11-7. Let's see if anybody's homered today. Miranda Stoddard has hit another home run.
What?
Jeez, that's 6 for the weekend.
6 in 3 days?
6 in 3 days for Miranda Stoddard. They will wrap up that tournament, the Bear Down Fiesta, tomorrow against Cal State Fullerton. J-Dub, final thoughts?
I mean, I think there's a lot of fans out there that think that Arizona needed this win. I think that Arizona matched Houston's physicality throughout. I don't think that was a question. In fact, I think they were the more physical team for most of the game. Mm-hmm. Again, as I said in the very first segment of this show, I think Houston won this game by shot making down the stretch, made big shots, a lot of those floaters, really, really big moments in time, DK. None of those were missed. And on the other side of the ball, Arizona just needs to get better looks late in games, run good offense to get good shots down the stretch, and on to the next one. It's going to be a fun trip to Waco. Remember last time they saw the Baylor Bears, they were without 2 of their better players. So it's going to be a tough challenge, but I really love the way this team's playing defensively, especially Bear Down.
All right, 8 o'clock will be the tip-off of that game on Monday night. Our coverage begins at 4:30 with Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day on Monday, President's Day. So join us for all of that. That is going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to Dusty Dale, ran the dials during the game on 107.5 K-Hit. David Dragon Ball Amata here on the AM side. And for Priscilla Magua and J.W. Madden and Calvin Ifan, my name is David Kelly, giving you that final score one more time from McHale Center in front of 14,688. It was number 6 Houston 62, Arizona 58. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody. Bear down, Arizona.
Bear down, Wildcat Nation. You've been listening to our Window Depot coverage of U of A basketball. The Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day post-game show has been brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. Join us right here on Game Day for complete coverage of Arizona basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Your home for everything Arizona Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290, KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
You're listening to Offsides with Mark Ryan on the Infinity Sports Network.
My friends, we are underway in spring training. And it's incredible to consider just how much of a favorite the Los Angeles Dodgers are to win the World Series this year. Do you know the Dodgers are a bigger favorite to win the World Series this year than any favorite we've had over the last 12 years?